On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Thursday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. On your screen is a criminal element identified as Christopher Davian Hayes, said to be from the Providence Heights community of St. James. Yeah, man. Now, this is an international news segment before we get into the local news. Now, the 31-year-old criminal element identified as Christopher Davian Hayes was accused of fatally taking the life of two men at an illicit after-hours club in Pine Hills in March of this year. He was, however, arrested in Tennessee last week. Now, the fatal knockings and clappings occurred in the early morning hours of March 23rd at around 3:35 a.m. It is said that the Orange County Sheriff deputies responded to 2700 block, that's off North Pine Hill Road in Orlando, Florida, in reference to a knockings and clappings that has taken place in that particular area. It is said that when the deputies arrived on the scene, they found two men identified as 56-year-old Errol Sylvester Irvin and also a 49-year-old man identified as Jocelyn Michael Gray, who had sustained whole heap of corner wounds all over their bodies. It is said that both victims were pronounced you-know-what on the scene. Now, according to the investigator, an investigation into the knockings and clappings incident revealed that a man identified as Christopher Davian Hayes had attended the party on March 23rd at a tax office that was being used exclusively to host activities after hours. Now, the sheriff office also stated that Hayes was at the party to allegedly target Mr. Gray. Now, when the knockings and clappings occurred, Irvin was standing near Mr. Gray and both men get caught up. Now, homicide detectives developed probable cause and a warrant was issued for Hayes' arrest on April 22nd, a month later. And then on May 22nd, the U.S. Marshal Services located and arrested the criminal element Christopher Hayes in Nashville, Tennessee. Christopher Hayes was transported to the Davidson County Sheriff Office Jail in Nashville, where he is currently awaiting extradition to Orange County to face 2 counts of first-degree knockings and clappings, resulting in the loss of life of 2. So, you see my peeps, corner boy a yard, and they said old dirty corner boy abroad. Yeah, man. Now him gone take contract, knockings and clappings. But me glad, see I know Uncle Sam, him go put on that spot of work there. Because Uncle Sam grab him off right now. So to all of the old Knockist and Clappist them out there who is looking for a gun for hire, this one will no longer be available. Double first degree knockings and clappings taking 2 of Uncle Sam's citizens' life. Gone a boneyard. Forever. 35 to life. A that in my face. Right now. And in a Florida, trust and believe. Them deal with the thing with them call the death penalty too. Yeah man, saying away back to local style. Now the police them most definitely I put on some decent spot of work in a western Jamaica, namely Hanover and St. James. Now 2 men get fatally caught up and 5 illegal firearms seized during operations by Era 1 police on Tuesday. Now we are going to hear from Senior Superintendent Glenford Miller, acting head of the Era 1 police divisions. Now the superintendent I go give you a breakdown of everything we're going on. Then of course on the Spot News Media I go give you the meat of the matter. Yeah man, listen.
So within the St. James space this morning, a rifle along with a handgun was actually seized and some persons taken into custody. In the Hanover space, a pistol was seized, 1 man arrested, and while the police had a search warrant, they went to Green Island, where they were actually confronted during the execution of the warrant. A man actually pointed a firearm at the police, who immediately defended themselves, and he was fatally arrested. Another man hearing what was happening actually running into the direction of the police with a firearm, and the police actually seized that firearm, and he was fatally arrested also. Within the Hanover space, Green Island in particular, since the start of the year, Green Island in particular have seen over 12 murders, which is not the norm for Hanover. Criminals want to take over our space, and we will not tolerate that. That will not happen. The law-abiding citizens of this country, especially those persons who live in Hanover, work in Hanover, do business in Hanover, must live in peace in Hanover and feel safe. And we, the police, we are here. We will continue to protect them and try to ensure their safety and security at all times.
So as it relates to the weapons recovered by the police made mention by the Senior Superintendent in charge of Era 1, Glenford Miller, he made mention of a rifle being seized by the police. Now on your screen is the rifle that he spoke of. This high-powered weapon was seized during a joint police military operation in Granville, St. James. He also made mention of a pistol being seized and also an arrest made. He made mention of this .38 Smith & Wesson revolver and also a empty 9mm magazine. The revolver had for it 7 live rounds. Now guess who the police, them hold on pan, arrest and charge for the .38 Smith & Wesson revolver and the empty 9mm magazine. I spoke about this criminal element here, presently on your screen identified as Andre, aka Shit Up, just a few days ago. Yeah man. And now he's presently behind bars, facing illegal possession of firearm and ammunition and also an illegal magazine charges. Now this criminal element, as I stated, is known as Andre, but his alias in the criminal underworld is Shit Up. And I'm pretty sure when the police and soldiers them run in pan him and him see him still among the land of the living, trust me, he probably lived true to his name as Shit Up. Yeah man. Now this criminal element here is a real waste man. This old fat here don't even live nowhere at all for himself. This criminal element was, and I repeat, was homeless. Because now that he was caught with a firearm and ammunition, he will be given a brand new home at the Freeport lockups until conviction at either the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center or the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center. 3 meals a day, no bills to pay. Yeah man. Now this is the same criminal element that I also made mention of when I covered a vlog on 41 Roseites Dan, known as Skeng or Ratty in the streets. He was also mentioned in that particular vlog. So shit up is now off the streets once and for all, we hope. The senior superintendent also made mention of a double fatal knockings and clappings that took place over there in Green Island, Hanover. Now, the two will end up lose them 3 points are brothers. They have since been identified as these two criminal elements presently on your screen, identified as Henrique Harvey and Romain Harvey. Now the police clearly stated, as you would have heard in the voice clip from the senior superintendent, that they went to a premises with a warrant to execute the warrant, and they were attacked by one of the brothers that was fatally arrested, and another brother came out with a firearm and was also fatally arrested. The senior superintendent also stated, and I quote, "I am appealing to the criminals. When my police officers come for you, surrender. Don't try to confront my police officers. My police officers are trained to defend themselves, and defend themselves they will. And they are also trained to defend the citizens of this country, and that they will do with the utmost respect and professionalism at all times. So I appeal to you," end quote. And that was the message from the senior superintendent in charge of Era 1. Now, residents are refuting the claims of the police, stating that there was no shootout and the police, they murder one of the brother in him room, and the next brother come fi come look and get ClapWeh too. Yeah, man. So one resident stated, and I quote, "No confrontation no go on around here. Them take Punky and carry him, go clap him away and bedside, and them knock it and clap it pan Romain because him did go look what happened to him brother," end quote. Now, according to the mother of the two deceased males presently on your screen, Farin Robertson, she stated that her sons were at a nearby home approximately 2 p.m. preparing for a night. The irony of it all. The distraught mother stated that she heard bacon start ring out from her home. However, she was alerted to the fact that her sons get caught up by another son who lives overseas. The mother stated, and I quote, "I was by my house and me hear a whole heap of corner beat. Then my son in England called me and asked what happened to Punky. Then he stated that him just hear say, them slap with him brother." The mother also stated that my son them are hard-working people. Them no give trouble, so me no understand what really go on with the police and them, end quote. Boy, may I tell you. So the police, them a say boy, a Knockist and ClapWeh them, and them recover 2 firearms from them. But residents have blocked the road in Lagod, Hanover, and protested, stating that it was a case of extrajudicial knockings and clappings. Yeah, man, saying away, make we continue. Now over there in the parish of St. James, another fatal knockings and clappings go on by the squad of them. Now one of St. James' most wanted identified as Colin Walters, also known as 1 o'clock, theme 12 o'clock come. Boy, may I tell you. Now, he was taken out in a hail of bullets, allegedly in a confrontation with Officer Yeman Pick and team at a guest house in Mobile, St. James. Now, the incident took place yesterday, Wednesday, sometime around 2:30 p.m. Now, Walters was said to be a member of the infamous 13th Street gang, hailed from the address of Red Square in the community of Tucker. It is said that he was the suspected Knockist and ClapWeh that took the life of a man on Tuesday night, a man identified as Nigel Smith. Now, it is said that a 24-year-old man was corned up in both legs, whilst a 55-year-old man get corned up during the incident at that guest house that the police took out the criminal element. Now, head of the St. James Police, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, stated that the police were indeed attacked. The superintendent stated, and I quote, "Upon conducting this operation, the members of the operational support team were fired upon by the suspect. Members of the team returned fire, and at the end of the incident, one man was seen clutching a Browning single-action pistol with 3 live rounds remaining in the magazine." Another operation was also conducted earlier where 2 other suspects were arrested and they were interviewed in relation to the said incident. So the police, they most definitely put on a decent spot of work. The senior superintendent also stated that he's urging criminals to turn in themselves. "We will not relent in our bid to keep this parish safe. And as such, we will be naming persons of interest and wanted persons very soon." So my peeps, look out for that. Yeah man, so another decent spot of work again by the squad of them. Now me could take a walk down memory lane. Now on your screen, who remember the criminal element here identified as Tadmar White, but more popularly known in the criminal underworld as Rifle King? The police labeled this criminal element here as a cold-blooded Knockist and ClapWeh who was on and off the St. James Most Wanted list for years. Rifle King was taken out by criminal elements at his bottom pen home in the parish of St. James in 2017. Now also on your screen is another reputed top Knockist and ClapWeh who is presently among you members of the diaspora in Florida, somewhere between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. But who knows, he may be elsewhere presently. Now this criminal element here has since been identified as Marvin Brown, aka Ramos. Now I'm pretty sure the ones and ones them probably a wonder what go on here so on the spot. Well, let me tell you now what go on. On your screen is a close friend of Ramos known as Delhi. Delhi was taken out in a friend turn enemies type of situation. Yeah man. The man them knock it and clap it pan him, spread him out like a sheet, no longer among the land of the living. Now Delhi was the reputed gang leader for the infamous Hugga Lane gang in Hanover, St. James. And the man them slap him away. Now for those who remember the fatal knockings and clappings of Tadmar White, Rifle King in 2017, would have also known that Delhi was one of the trigger men. Yeah man. So Delhi are one of the man them behind Rifle King, knockings and clappings. And he rose to prominence and became the reputed gang leader for the Hugga Lane Massive in Norwood, St. James, which by the way is also in the constituency of the Minister of National Security. I just had to throw that in there so the ones and ones them can know where I go on. Now how the friend turn enemies thing drop into delis, knockings and clappings. As I've always stated, and also the late great Robert Nesta Marley have stated in one of his most popular songs, only your friends can know your secret, so only he can reveal it. And I stated just that in another vlog the other day when friends turn enemies are one of the wickedest war that anyone can face, because your friend that is now your enemy know everything about you, the ins and outs, strengths and weaknesses. So at that, Delhi fell victim too. Now the criminal elements we carry out the knockings and clappings there is two Ramos top shooter them. Him have three, namely J, Tom and Wet Bread. But two of them go up under dirt settings here and go liquid Delhi quick and fast. Now on your screen is the three that I just made mention of. Three Ramos, top, Knockist and Clappist. Now the two will go up under works there and go ClapWeh Delhi, Bilias, is the one standing, identified as J. The one sitting in the middle, white t-shirt, black jeans, black sneakers, known as Tom. And another top Knockist and Clappist, whose name was not mentioned in the knockings and clappings of Delhi, but a top Knockist and Clappist, nonetheless known as Wet Bread. Now I'm pretty sure that these names are not strange names to the residents of Waltham, St. James. They are members of the infamous Walthamese gang that is controlled by Marvin Brown, aka Ramos. And I'm pretty sure they're rivals, they're long-standing rivals, the Six Gang, whichever side, whether Shabdan faction or Squash faction, both set of the six arch enemies of the Walthamese gang members, Ramos, J, Tom, and Wet Bread. So, I could just go and watch and see how this one here I go work out, because I'm pretty sure this is going to start an all-out war, because Delhi was not just a regular Knockist and Clappist. He was the reputed gang leader for Hugga Lane. Yeah, man. Now anyway, make we continue. Now the last thing that we're going to talk about is over there in the parish of Manchester, where since the start of the year, the Manchester police have been forced to step up their security measures following the fatal knockings and clappings of somewhere around 15 people end up losing 3 points to the hands of criminal elements. Now one of the most recent victims has since been identified as this 53-year-old man presently on your screen, identified as Carlton Lewis, said to be of a Woodland Heights address in Georges Valley in the parish. Now reports reaching on the Spot News Media is that on the day and time when Carlton Lewis was taken out, sometime around 8 p.m., Lewis was walking along a section of the roadway when he was accosted by 2 armed criminal elements who opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times over the upper body and head. Now it is said that one of the criminal elements was captured by the police yesterday. Now, the criminal element in question has since been identified as Gavin Sr. It is said that a joint police military operation was carried out at the home of Gavin Sr., who was accosted, arrested, and placed into custody by the Manchester police for the fatal knockings and clappings of Carlton Lewis. It is said that Gavin Sr. is said to be the son of Carlton Lewis' neighbor. Yeah, man, me I tell you, boy, the thing rough. But anyway, continue to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.